Well, I invite my younger friends to come forward. Hi, Caitlin. So after the service, after my little story, which makes absolutely no sense, you can come up here and take whichever one of these, because I can't. You're here every Sunday. I'm not sure what you have and don't have yet, So anyway, kids, you all know about Fred, and Fred. He's a delightful kid who comes to church every Sunday and loves Sunday school, but I'm not sure if you ever met Fred's dad. Oh, man, he was a goof. And he never went to church. So it's amazing that Fred ever went to church, but Fred's dad was just one of those guys. And he loved to rattle people up. He loved to make fun of people. He liked to do goofy things. He just was absolutely crazy. And then the time came when Fred's dad passed away. He died. And back in those days, they had a little place where people like Fred's dad would be buried. It's just kind of like a loved one. Kind of laid to rest. I walked in here this morning and every goof in my closet was here. And that's Curious George. And so George kind of went around and he said to all of Fred's friends, I'm just curious. Fred's dad, where is he now? I mean, he didn't go to church. He was kind of a goof. Really didn't like the church. I'm just curious. So he would ask everybody, where is Fred's dad now? He's gone. And then there was a voice. Well, why don't you ask me? Flat Jesus. That's my department. So George, you said you're curious as to where Fred's dad is now. He said, well, yeah, I think we all are. Because, we talk about going to church, and sometimes we talk about heaven and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just curious where Fred's dad is, because he didn't go to church, so he's probably not in heaven. And Flat Jesus said, wait a minute. What do you mean he's not in heaven? Well, he did. Okay, remember Thanksgiving? When we had to feed all those people from St. Coletta's? And even though we can't really do it again this year, but we will, who is the one that brought in most of the food? And they said, well, it was Fred's dad. Oh, okay. And then you remember Christmas, when we would adopt people and buy clothes and gifts for the kids and for the adults, and there were about 5 or 6 people that didn't get adopted. Who adopted those people? That was Fred's dad. Yeah, how about that? And then remember when a couple of people had to go in the hospital and the minister went on vacation and they needed someone to visit? Who went there? Oh, that was Fred's dad. You see, we used to talk about Fred's dad like he had this one wing in the fire, whatever that means. Like he wasn't very religious, so he had one wing in the fire. What does that mean? Well, guess what? Why don't you go over there and just see what's going on in there? And they looked in there and they said, well, Fred's dad isn't here. And Flat Jesus said, look, dig deep. He's not there, but his soul is. Every time there's an act of kindness, every time somebody needs help, every time somebody needs somebody, that's what heaven is, pal. Heaven is knowing that when somebody we love passes away and dies, that their spirit lives on. Yep, he had one wing in the fire sometimes, but he was a good man. And that's the most important thing in life. So we have a song by Zach, One Wing in the Fire. And Caitlin, would you just come up here and take whatever you would like, please? All right. Thanks, Zach.
Daddy's been a back row Baptist with his share of front row sin. Saturday night still on his breath every Sunday when he'd walk in. He's never led the benediction, he's never sang in the choir, but he's an angel with no halo and one wing in the fire. Mama lives by the Bible lives by the bed. She's lied alone so many nights with scriptures in her head, praying, dear Lord, just be with him. I know his faith is tired, but he's an angel with no halo and one wing in the fire. And I know he lives a little after living right, and he's come close to going way too far a few times. But I'd trade 1,000 prayers if just one prayer would come true. Lord, please believe in him like I believed in you. Daddy's always been there for me, from T-ball to touchdowns. He fixed my car and he fixed my heart when they've been broken down. I know he calls for more forgiveness than most folks do require, but he's an angel with no halo and one wing in the fire. And I know he lives a little after living right, and he's come close to going way too far a few times. But I'd trade 1,000 prayers if just one prayer would come true. Lord, please believe in him like I believed in you. Well, I just can't imagine what heaven might be like if me and Mama make it without Daddy by our side. Lord, could you please remember when it's time to call us higher, that he's an angel with no halo and one wing in the fire.
That was good. I think most of us have one wing in the fire a lot of times, so thank you, Zach.